Welcome back to Daytime here on Rogers TV. I'm Jennifer Robinson, and we are about to test your passion. And it's not quite what you think, but Barrie McFarland is here to tell us exactly what I mean by that last sentence I just said. Barrie, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, the passion test, when you pick up this book and you look at it, you think, okay, what exactly does this mean, the passion test? Tell us about it.
The passion test is all about discovering your passion, figuring out what it is that's important to you, and then how to bring it into your life. It's the tools, practical, simple process for understanding and getting clear about what's important to you, and then how to create that.
Practical and simple are two words that I totally appreciate. Right here in the book says the effortless path to discovering. A lot of times when it comes to discovering a passion, it's kind of forgotten. Where does that ease of finding it again come from?
Yeah, you know what? So often we think about what we don't want rather than what we do want. So this takes us into a process where we think, okay, when my life is ideal, if I had all the money in the world and could do and be and have anything I want, then what would that be? Live in a beautiful home, have a wonderful relationship with your spouse or with your children, or like your past guests about creating an app for iTunes and Apple, or doing art, right? Like getting back into what makes your heart sing and taking the time to actually think about that.
So how did you find your passion, and was it an easy process? Was this book the catalyst for you?
I actually, about 15 years ago, was at a women's conference, and I'm listening to the speaker, and I knew then that I wanted to do that. I wanted to be an inspirational speaker and help people, discover their passion, be more effective. And at the time, though, I was working for the Ontario government, and those limiting beliefs and self-doubt get in the way. And about 5 years ago, actually, I came across the book at one of my regular trips to the bookstore, and again went through the process, and I knew deep down that that was my passion. And again, those limiting beliefs held me back until 2010, June 2010. I met Janet Barrie, the co-author of the Passion Test, and I broke through my fear and I signed up for the Passion Test. Are you all right?
I'm okay. Keep going. I am listening. I just have this little bit of a tickle in my throat right now.
No, wrong. So I signed up for the certification. I took the certification this past August, and immediately knew then that this was my passion and I needed to start a business. So I started that business in August, and as of January 1st, I'm doing that business full time. I've left my job in the Ontario government 21 years because I know this is my passion, my dharma, my duty, my calling.
So when you see someone who's an inspirational speaker and I say, I want to be like that person, that's a difficult transition. Have you always had this capacity or talent to be able to do that motivation?
Yeah, I've been really, really lucky in working for the Ontario government because I've had the opportunity in my jobs to kind of bring that into play and do that coaching and mentoring with staff and employees and things like that. And the passion test, as I said, the simple process, the formula for bringing it into your life is intention, attention, no tension. And so intention is getting clear about what is it that you intend to create. So whether it's your ideal life, your ideal relationship, you're having trouble at work or whatever, it's focusing again on what it is you want. What is it that you intend to create? And then attention, putting your attention to it. So as you're faced with a choice, a decision, or an opportunity, choose in favor of your passion. And so often we don't do that. We focus on what we don't want. So keep coming back to what it is you do want. And then the last part of the formula, the no tension part, is sometimes the hardest.
Yeah.
That you believe, you've set your intention, you've put you set your intention, you've put your attention to it, and then let it go. Act from a place of calm, a place of knowing that it's going to happen. And then the second part of no tension is be open to how it comes in, because it may not happen as you think it is, right? When you put yourself in a little box, right? It could happen differently.
Well, and that's got to be a challenging way to accept what you put out there as well, because if you anticipate some end result, but that's not the direction you get when you get there, or the journey, do people misinterpret the signs sometimes?
Sometimes, exactly. So when you're open, and what the passion test talks about is, when my life is ideal, I am, and you make your list, and it's this or something better. So when it doesn't work out, then there's something better, and it's just knowing, going back to, okay, this is my intention. You know, that when I was with the government and last year, after I started this business, you have to go through a conflict of interest process. And I remember it was kind of a stressful process because I wanted to make sure that I was still in line with my integrity and I wasn't doing, you know, my business at work. And I kept going back to, well, what's my intention? My intention is to help people find their passion. So, you know, whether I do that in government or do it outside, so now I'm doing it outside.
Well, and I mean, this book does have a lot of ideas and tips and tricks, and this is just simply one of the tools you use within your business. Tell us about that.
Yes, so I am a certified life coach, certified by the ICF, the International Coaching Federation, and the passion test, yes, is one of the tools that I use with my clients to help tap into their inner wisdom. So as a life coach, it's all about, the answers are always within. So, you know, it's about me working with my client to understand where are they at and what tools do I have that can help them bring out the answers, and, you know, just asking them the right questions and tapping into their passions.
And is the test easy to take?
It's so easy.
Do you have to study for it?
You know, studying, and you always win. You always, you know, are 100% correct.
Okay, so how long does it take to take the test? Do you have to read the book? Is it like a partnership thing? How does that work?
Yeah, you don't. It doesn't have to take long. I like to at least have an hour because I want to be able to take someone through it. You can do it by yourself. You can just create your list. When my life is ideal, I am, and then you're asking yourself 3 questions. You're going through your list and you're saying, you know, compare passion number 1 with passion number 2. You know, which is more important, number 1 or number 2? Okay, number 1. Okay, which is more important, number 1 or number 3? And then if you're thinking about it and you don't really know, you're going, you know, passion's about the heart and getting out of the head. So you're saying, you know, well, if I could only have number 1 and, you know, never have number 2, or, you know, number 3, or only have number 3 and never have number 1, which one matters more, right? So you're going through this process. And so sometimes it's easier if somebody else takes you through it, but you can definitely do it on your own as well.
Is there one question that you can ask me that you know from the test?
Well, the passion test is just you actually creating your list. So
I have to do it.
I could actually ask you, you know, what are you passionate about? What do you love? What makes your heart sing?
There's a lot of stuff. I don't know if we have enough time to answer everything about what I'm passionate about, but it's not. It's a process that you have to take yourself with your guidance.
Exactly.
Yeah. How do you know when you're answering with your heart instead of your head?
Because it feels good.
That's it? Is that simple?
It feels good, yeah. And you'll know when you're not feeling good, then your focus is on what you don't want rather than what you do want. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
And sometimes you cry, actually, because when
really?
I knew that this was my passion, I'm like, I called my husband. Oh, I need to spend this money on this, you know, practice builder's course because this is my passion. So, anyways.
Yeah, but that sounds like it was tears of happiness.
Exactly.
The emotion came from a good place,
That's right.
You know, it's very much like you just mentioned. You don't know how your end result or your journey to get there. It comes in different ways. And Barrie, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. The passion test. Get in touch with Barrie if you want to find your true passion. And right now we're going to see how Glenn is doing with his art. Glenn?
It's a passion of mine. Just saying.